This is Excellent Men Archives featuring Legend, and that is him there. It also features two of the worst creators of comic books ever. This is the first appearance of Legend, Daniel Stevens of the Telebox. Very good actor. This comic is by Christopher Claremont, one of my least favourite writers, and the art is by Bill Son of a Bitch. And I do not say this lightly. This is not hyperbole. I have carefully considered this and weighed everything up. Bill Son of a Bitch is one of the worst artists to ever draw a comic. His art is hideous. Even this cover, it's awful. It's like just fucking scribbles. You could get a fucking mental with no hands from a care home to draw something with his own shit on a wall that is equally as good as this cover. And people hate Bill Son of a Bitch now because he is a leftist bully who castigates Republicans and any critics. But I'm quite proud to say that I have always hated Bill Son of a Bitch, pretty much from the moment I first saw his art. It's ugly, it's disgusting, it's abhorrent. And no, it isn't the case that I didn't get it or that it's a style that I didn't like. This is just shit. This is an artist who tried but couldn't do proper art for comics, so decided to just hide behind some veneer, some pretense of being like a really abstract, alternative, experimental, outsider artist. I've actually refused to read comics because of his awful shit artwork. Like Electro by Hank Miller. I would love to read that, but this arsehole's art is just unreadable. This here is our introduction to Legend. He is the son of Dr. X. He has got multiple personality disorder, and we are introduced to him with this terrible art and all this overwrought monologue. I really praise Christopher Claremont, but honestly, put him and Bill Son of a Bitch in a room together, and Christopher Claremont is by large the far more talented of the two. What this is, this page, it was from an early issue. It was like a little interlude, a little subplot, a little teaser. And I like that they have included it here for completionist's sake. Here we have got a big write-up, a bigger introduction to Legend. I don't know who wrote this, but it definitely isn't Christopher Claremont, because I would be able to tell. This was probably written by the editor. I quite like stuff like this, where it's meant to be like a report written up from the perspective of a character. But unfortunately, we have got ugly Bill Son of a Bitch art acting as bored, as unpleasant. Quite a lot of reading here as well. Then we finally start the story. We are at the Excellent Men's Lab, and we have got these two characters. They are members. They are racist. This guy, this one here, he used to be a 40 or 50-year-old white man. And now, through Christopher Claremontian magic, he has been de-aged and transformed into a super strong Native American. He was actually in that other story that I reviewed, the one with the ravers, so was she. And Legend was in that as well. My point being though, these two characters are racist. Further proof of that claim is here. This apparition appears, and the bloke, one of his first responses is to say, looks like an Arab. Based on this horrible art and the fact that he's all blue, I'll be honest, his potential Arabian heritage never even crossed me mind. This is Legend. He is manifesting an image of one of his personalities. I'm having to be quite efficient here and not stop every page to say that the art is ugly. Racist Native man and the lesser known racist Native woman, they rush into Legend's room because Legend, he is screaming in pain. Legend, he is really powerful, and each of his personalities, they have different powers. Like, one is a telepath, one is a telekinetic, one is a fire one. He's like Jane Mental from the Dawn People. I think Christopher Clairvoyant and Bill Son of a Bitch, they handle the whole idea and actually just the introduction of the character in general really badly. It's a flawed idea. They have taken the idea of schizophrenia, but they didn't seem to understand it. Like, his split personalities, one is a little girl, one is a Middle Eastern terrorist, which I'm sure is a stereotype, and one is just like an action film hero star, and well, it doesn't really work. I'll talk about his personalities a little bit more next issue, but if you're wondering what film Christopher Clairvoyant saw this week and has decided to rip off, well, this bit here, this is clearly The Exorcist's in it. I didn't understand how I like Legion. He is created by, in my opinion, two of the worst people in comics. His character is internally broken and borderline offensive. He always has magic, stupid plot powers. His very existence breaks Dr. X as a character, but I quite like him for some reason. I think there is potential in him. I think there's one or two good ideas or good aspects to him. This is awful, but I could see like a good writer and a good artist doing this exact story and doing it well. Like, why didn't they do like an automated version of this story in the automated universe? Just do a version of this, that would work. Or just do like Legend Year 1 or something. Retell it with different creators. The general structure of the story and the broad idea, that is kind of fine. Christopher Clairvoyant, I've said before, he is a bad comic writer, but he is still a comic writer. Like, what he writes is clearly a comic, it's just that it is bad. Whereas Chelsea Kane or that Wilson one, they're just writing propaganda or web comics or whatever, and they happen to be printed as comic books. Legend, his powers have gone out of control, and there's that really boring woman again, Myra McDonald or whatever. And look here, Bill, son of a bitch, is trying to draw a fucking horse. That's just embarrassing, that. Why do people think that this is like artistic genius? A 4-year-old can draw a better horse than Bill, son of a bitch. Then we are introduced to the sad selection of excellent main characters. Really bad cast. We have got Squealy, who doesn't even have his powers. Dr. X, Wolf Girl, Moonchild, who is unbearable, the annoying robot, and Cyber. And this is a really bad establishing shot of all the characters. Other than annoying robot here, none of these people stand out. They all just blend together. They're not even wearing their costumes are out. It's really bad. Speaking of bad things, look at the annoying robot here and how badly he is drawn. Like, even Robert Liefeldman, he drew the annoying robot better than his creator, Bill Son of a Bitch. We have got loads and loads of tawdry clairvoyantian inner monologue melodrama. I tell you what, I really hate so much on this page. Firstly, we have got the annoying robot. He's annoying, terrible character. Why is he even on The Excellent Men? He is an alien robot. And I didn't care if Christopher Clairvoyant pulls out that old bullshit excuse of, oh, he is a mutant to his alien robot race. He's not an evolutionary extension of humanity, so why is he on The Excellent Men? Why is he on a team on Earth comprised of mutants fighting for equality? Secondly, here we have got the annoying robot and he is doing some chirping, and naturally it's annoying. It's some sort of a warning or Morse code or something. I wonder what he is saying. Now, Cyber, he is meant to be the smart one, the one who knows every language and is analytical and can understand the annoying robot. But no, this is Christopher Clairvoyant, so he has his little pet character, Moonchild, the strong female character. She's the one who analyses and determines the exact language patterns being used. And anyway, it doesn't matter because the annoying robot was just chatting up The Excellent Men's jet. Then we have Cyber, fucking Cyber. He asks Moonchild what was going on with the annoying robot. And Moonchild has to explain it to him. This is fucking absolute bullshit. Cyber, I like Cyber, but he does have very specific powers that make him not an ideal superhero and made him one of the least useful excellent men in theory. And here, Christopher Clairvoyant has just made him completely useless. Down here we have got Multiplication Man. He is like the most interesting character in the whole story, and these two rubbish creators clearly do not recognise that fact. Now we have got Legend's mum, because there's not already enough pointless characters to keep track of in this story. I forgot something else actually, something that really annoys us. Back then, they didn't... Well, here, Christopher Clairvoyant and Bill Son of a Bitch, the latter, who believes he is like progressive and woke and stuff, back then, they didn't know the difference between fucking autism and schizophrenia. It's terrible. Legend is described as autistic loads. And if they want to say that he is autistic, that is fine. But it's clear that these men, they have no fucking clue about mental health and disability. But they still tried to dig a story about it. And they just heard these words and threw them all at the story. Now here is what we all need. Emma Frosty's the most beautiful character in all of comics, except drawn by someone who couldn't draw something beautiful if his life depended on it. This page upsets us the most. I am offended. I'm offended that Bill, son of a bitch, was arrogant enough to think that someone as untalented as him, who draws the most repulsive, disgusting art that he thinks he could ever draw Emma Frosties. It's disgusting. And this is a subplot page in a Christopher Clairvoyant comic. And would you guess, it's all about a male character mentally enslaving a female character. They don't add anything to the story, completely irrelevant, only really cluttering it up with more characters. Then we've got some more shit with the annoying robot. One of the big plot points is that Dr. X doesn't know Legend is his son yet. Dr. X, he tries to go into Legend's mind, but he can't get through the barriers. A metaphorical brick wall, which is represented with a literal brick wall. Got adverts there. And hey, look, it's some more characters. Mr. Magnet, this is when Christopher Clairvoyant was pushing him as a tragic, heroic figure. And now he is banging some lassie who is much younger than him. And because she is a Christopher Clairvoyant character, she also by chance just happens to be a professional pirate who is also a jungle warrior princess and the guardian of a magical island located in the heart of the Bermuda Triangle. I'm not making a single bit of that up. It adds now to the story as well, and here we have got some stuff with Dr. X, and here is actually a good example of Christopher Clairvoyant's understanding of autism. Tell me all about him, especially the trauma that made him autistic. The trauma that made him autistic. That made him autistic. You didn't get made autistic. Autism isn't caused by trauma or whatever. It's a neurological disorder. You didn't suddenly get made autistic. One day you didn't just wake up and suddenly you now have autism. Oh, I caught a little bit of autism the other day. Ludicrous. Wolf girl sneaks out of bed and goes to see her mum. Boring Myra. And this leads to Legend. Well, his Middle Eastern personality attacks them. And kaboom! To be continued. Even a rubbish cliffhanger really. It comes out of nowhere and you didn't really care. This is terrible. There's some potential in a very basic framework, but my God, is it barely evident here. Awful writing, monotonous monologues, ponderous rubbish, loads of Mary Sues, go nowhere subplots, the art is disgraceful, actually repellent to look at. I think this book sucks proper balls. I'm only rating it 7 thumbs up.